Hello, my name is Jason, and we're going to do some chair yoga. Just some tips. We'll be doing some deep breathing to ground and center ourselves in the beginning. Then we'll be doing some gradual stretches, moving with our breath. And just pay attention to how your body is feeling. If something doesn't feel right, feel free to opt out or do a less intense version of the movement that I'm offering. Are we ready? We'll start by being comfortably seated in a chair. You can either sit towards the front or with your back against the back. If your chair has that, just let your arms rest on your lap, palms down or palms up if that feels comfortable. Make sure your feet are able to touch the floor, heels and toes. And maybe close the eyes and take a few moments to just turn inward and notice your breath. Forgetting about any cares or concerns outside of this room until we're past the session, and just bring your focus to your breath. Just maybe take a couple of deep breaths here, inhaling, filling the lungs, and maybe exhale through the mouth. Long inhales and long exhales. Let's do a few more together. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time, maybe feel the ribs expanding and exhaling. Take a few more moments here. Maybe scan the body, noticing any sensations, any areas that feel tight or sore or drawing your attention. Just take a few moments to acknowledge that. If you're feeling a little tight in the neck and shoulders, maybe shrug the shoulders up to the ears and let them drop a few times. Feeling a little tight in the hips, maybe rock the hips a few times forward and back or side to side. Whatever it might be, just take a moment to see if you can find a little more comfort in this position, and then come back to stillness. And once you're ready, slowly blink your eyes back open. And sit upright in your chair, feet are on the floor. And let's start with maybe just letting the chin drop down towards your chest, coming into some movements in the head and neck. Then inhale, let the chin come up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let the chin drop back down towards your chest. Maybe a few more times here. Lifting on your inhales and letting the head drop on your exhales. Maybe one more time here. Just stretching the front of the neck and the back of the neck on your exhale. And then bring the head back up to neutral. Maybe bring one ear towards your shoulder, maybe your right shoulder to start. Stretching the side of the neck. And then bring your head up and over to the other shoulder. And just pause here for a moment. Feeling that stretch. Maybe one more time over to the first shoulder. Pause briefly. And then over to the other. And then bring the head back up to neutral. Let's inhale, bring the arms overhead. Reach with the fingertips. And then exhale, bring the arms slowly back down to your sides. Let them drop down on either side of the chair. Few more times. Inhale, floating the arms up with our breath. And exhale, gradually lowering the arms back down. One more time. Inhale and lifting. And exhale, lower and pause. Now send just the right arm up towards the ceiling and maybe over towards the corner. You can use your other hand to hold on to the side of the chair, or just let it hang freely, or let it rest on your hip. While we hold here, reaching with those fingers, and then slowly coming back. Same thing with the other side. Let's send the other arm up towards the ceiling and then reach for the corner. Other hand can be holding on the side, or hand on your lap or on the hip. Just reach with those fingers, get a stretch in the side of the torso. Breathe, and slowly come back. Can you interlace the fingers? Push the palms out in front of you. Get a little stretch in the fingers here. Inhale, send the hands overhead. Exhale, lean over to your right side. Pause briefly. Inhale, back up and over to the other side. Feels good, right? Let's do that one more time. Over to the first side. Pause briefly and breathe. Pushing both hands upwards, and then inhale up and over. Exhale and pause on the other side for at least a breath. Keep your hands overhead. Can you send your hands a little bit further behind the head? Let the chest come forward. Gaze up and breathe. And exhale, let the arms slowly drop back down to your sides. And then just shake out the arms, shake out the hands. Like you just washed your hands. There's no towels to dry your hands. You're just trying to get all the droplets off. And then maybe interlace the fingers and do a figure eight with your wrist. Just to loosen up the wrist here a little bit. Nice, and then just shake them out once more. Now, let's come to the legs. Let's start by lifting the right leg up. Just extend the foot, pushing through the heel, make the toes point up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, lower that. Inhale the other leg, pointing the toes up towards the ceiling. Just straight leg here, and then lower the foot down. Let's do that one more time on the first side. Pointing the toes up, and then come back down. Extend the other foot up, pointing the toes upward, and come back down. Now, you can bring your hands underneath the right hip, thigh, or in front of your shin. We're gonna lift the right knee, and you can just let it hang out there in space, or you can support it with your hands, maybe under the thigh here. Maybe wiggle that foot around a few times, get a little movement in the ankle. Get those cobwebs out of our ankle joints today. And then drop that foot down, lift the other knee. And you can just let that knee hang out there in the air. If you want to support it with your hands, feel free to bring them underneath. Maybe wiggle the other foot a few times, one direction, and then the other direction. Nice. And then scoot forward a little bit more in the chair if you can. Maybe open up your feet on the floor a little wider. And we're going to do some seated cat-cows. So sitting at the edge of your seat, long spine, hands on your thighs, or you can bring your hands closer to the kneecaps. Inhale, pull your chest forward and gaze up to stretch the front of the body. And then exhale, drop the head, lean back, let your back round. Inhale, pull the chest forward, gaze up. And exhale, drop the head chin to chest, rounding the back behind you, keeping the hands on your kneecaps or thighs for support. A few more times. Inhale, come forward, gaze up. And breathe. Exhale, down and back. Let's do two more. Stretching the front of the body and the neck. And then relax, let the head drop forward, rounding the back. One more time. Chest forward, gaze up. And exhale, down and back. Nice. Come back to neutral seated position. Let's come into some arm circles. You can have the arms wide, or you can bring your fingertips to your shoulders, whatever you feel comfortable doing. And then just start doing tiny circles. Think of a nautilus. We're going to slowly spiral into a larger circle each loop. So we hold and breathe here, moving just the arms. As you get wider and bigger, keep them slow. Imagine we're underwater and we're just meeting a little resistance as we move the arms until you get them really big and wide. Last loop in this direction. And then switch. Start with the small circles, tiny circles going backwards, like we're doing a backstroke. Slowly make those loops a little wider as you continue, making them a little bigger each time, a little slower, like a slow motion backstroke. Let's do this for one more breath. Big loops here. Nice, and then just let the arms drop back down to your sides. Nice, and just shrug the shoulders a few times up to the ears, back and down. How are your arms feeling, huh? Maybe a little warm? Nice. Bring your right arm across the chest and hug it in with the other arm. And as you hold it, maybe let that arm you're holding drop. So if it's your right arm you're holding to chest, just let the right hand drop and go limp. Keep hugging into the chest, maybe for a nice shoulder stretch. And then do the other arm. Bring it across the chest, hug it in with the other hand, maybe let the hand go limp. That's being held. Keep hugging in. One more breath. Hopefully getting a nice stretch in the shoulder here. Nice, and then just let the arms swing to your sides. Watch out for your neighbors or water bottles. And then bring the arms across your chest. Maybe alternate each arm across the front. Just getting a little freedom here, freedom of motion in the arms and shoulders. Nice, and let's do one more leg stretch here. So grab the side of the chair with your hands, and then can you extend that right leg out in front like we did before? This time, if you want to add a little variation, can you send the leg over to the right, towards the corner of the room? You can point the toes or keep pushing through the heel, and then bring the leg back to center and drop it down. Let's do the other, extend the other leg, pushing through the heel, bring it to the left corner of the room if you'd like. Keep pushing through the heel or maybe point the toes. And then bring it back in line and drop it down. Let's do one more time on the right side, pushing through the heel, over to the side, back in line, and drop it. Same side, other side, same thing. Maybe optionally sending that foot and leg towards the corner, and then back and down. Nice. Now sit back, let's take a moment to pause and turn back inward. You can scoot back in your chair if you want support from the back. Hands on your thighs. Just gently close your eyes. And take a few breaths here. And maybe just notice how you're feeling right now in the body. And if it might be any different than when we first started. Bring the hands together in prayer in front of your heart. Maybe offer some gratitude. Taking time out for yourself today. Because no one else is going to do it, right? Thank you for joining, and I hope you feel a little bit better than when we first started. Thank you.